to look at how to find the percent of change. In the past, we've always had the percent, and we've found like a new price, like a sale price or a markup. But now what we're going to do is we're going to note the two prices, and then we're going to try and figure out the percent that the price has changed. And so this is just a little bit different than what we've done before with sale prices. So I'm going to do an example. We'll talk about in general how to do it, and then we'll do another example. So in this first example, we have a winter coat that was $250 in January. Now, since it's spring, it is only $95. So what percent has the price decreased? I mean, you know this is a good sale, but just how good is it? And so the first thing you have to realize is you can't do 95 over 250. That is very much the temptation, but it's not right. So what you have to do first is you have to find the amount of change. So how much did the price go down? So we're going to take 250 minus 95, and that will give us how much the price changed, and that is $155. So that is the amount of change. And that is the number we are actually going to use, not the 95. So when we put this in a proportion, 155, is how much it changed. But it started at 250. So that's what we're comparing. We're comparing how much it changed versus where it started. And we're going to figure out what percent that is. Now, the good thing is you know how to solve this because you know how to cross-multiply and all that kind of stuff. So let's do that now. So we're going to take 250 times x. So we're going to take 250 times x, and then we're going to take 155 times 100. Okay, here we go. So 250 times x is 155 times 100. So that means 250x is 15,500. And because this is 250 times x, we're going to divide to find our final answer. And so that, I need a little more room here, so excuse me while I move this around. So then we're going to divide by 250. And when you divide that, you're going to get 62. So this has changed by 62%. So it is 62% off now. So that is the percent decrease. Decrease because it went down. So remember that we have to find the amount of change. That's the biggie, because a lot of people want to put the 95 in the proportion, and you don't do that. Okay, so here we're going to talk about the rule. So this, make sure, if you haven't already, you are going to write this in your toolkit. So this is the toolkit info. So the percent of change is, and we're talking about how to find the percent increase or decrease. So the first thing is you have to find the amount. So that's when you have to subtract. So you're going to subtract the two numbers to find the amount of change. And you're going to put that in a proportion over the original amount. And that original amount, if you wish, you can even put the old here. That's the old price or the old amount. Or if you wish, you could say the starting amount. And then, of course, that equals the percent over 100. Notice how the 100 is always here because we're talking about a percent. So take a minute and write this in your toolkit. When you're done writing this in your toolkit, you're also going to write the next example. In this example, we are now talking about the percent increase because we have something that has gone up. So in 2016, the price of a new Ford Mustang, the base model, like your general Ford Mustang without all the bells and whistles, was $24,145. In 2017, a new Ford Mustang will now cost $25,185. So it's not a huge difference in price when you think about cars, but let's talk about what percent that is. So remember, the first thing you want to do is subtract these two numbers. You do not want to put each number over the other one. Now, when you subtract, you do want to take the larger minus the smaller because you don't want to have to worry about negatives. So I'm going to take 25,185 and I'm going to subtract 24,145. And when I do that, I get 1,040. So this is my amount of change. And that, my friends, is the magic number that goes in your proportion. So that is the number that goes over the original amount or the old amount or the starting amount. Whatever phrase helps you remember that. So that's the 24,145. And then my x is the percent, because I don't know that, and that's over 100. And we'll always do it that way. So let me give myself a little more space. So now I'm going to do my cross multiplying. So that means I'm going to take 24,145 times x and 1,040 times 100. So 24,145 times x equals 1,040 times 100. So I get 24,145x, and that equals 104,000. So now I'm going to divide these. And I get about, now since I'm rounding this, let me make my squiggly equal, because it's about 4.3%. So the price has increased by about 4.3%. Excellent.